Frontiersman Jim Bowie, who was born in Kentucky and died at the Alamo, actually became famous during the years he spent growing up, working, and fighting in Louisiana.
Dave McNamara tries to separate fact from legend for Bowie and his celebrated knife in the heart of Louisiana.
It was on a sandbar not far from the spot on the Mississippi River near Vidalia, Louisiana, where frontiersman Jim Bowie made a name for himself and his knife. Born in Kentucky, Bowie grew up in Louisiana's Catahoula Parish.
I actually probably lived within 10 or 12 miles where Bowie lived.
Stanley Nelson is editor of the Concordia Sentinel newspaper and has written a few articles about Jim Bowie's exploits in the area.
Back in those days, there was a lot of fraudulent land dealing going on, and the Bowie brothers were involved in a whole lot of that.
Jim Bowie was also a slave trader.
He was a fighter. He didn't take insults very easily. There was a feud involving a sheriff from Alexandria. Bowie was involved in one party, and the sheriff had his men in the other.
It was an 1827 duel that turned into a deadly brawl on the sandbar.
This is a bona fide Bowie knife because we know that the Bowie brothers had this made. This bloody affair, today we'd say that it went viral. People across the nation are reading about how he's in this fight, outnumbered, he's shot, he's stabbed, but he's still able to hold his own.
With the sudden popularity of the knife, Bowie's brother Reason had more knives made.
This was made on a plantation that the Bowies had in Rapides Parish. This knife was commissioned by Reason Bowie by a jeweler named Searles in Baton Rouge. This is what many people think a Bowie knife looks like when they hear the word Bowie knife.
Bruce Winders is a historian at the Alamo in San Antonio, where Bowie moved and got married after leaving Louisiana. He's part of a force of about 200 Texans who are grossly outnumbered but refuse to surrender to the Mexican army.
How hard is it to separate fact from legend with somebody like Jim Bowie?
The legend is what most people know about James Bowie. He may be so sick that he's unconscious, or he's possibly even dead at the time of the battle. Mexicans will say he's in his bed, he didn't put up much of a fight. Legend can't stand for that. And so he whips out his knife, he's slashing, he's firing with his pistols. You know, that's where the fact and the legend come together.
Jim Bowie's story is forever enshrined at the Alamo where he died. But his fame and legend began years earlier in a knife fight on a Louisiana sandbar. With the heart of Louisiana, Dave McNamara, Fox 8 Local First.
For the record, it is not known if Jim Bowie's famous knife was recovered from the Battle of the Alamo. To learn more, go to heartoflouisiana.com.